This is the plaintiff, Alex Cortez. He says he enrolled in the defendant's bartending school, but wanted out because the classes were too big, unorganized, and chaotic. When he went to the administrator's office to request a refund, the guy slammed the door on his finger, which began to bleed. Some people. He's suing for $742, tuition costs, replacement keys, and a jacket. This is the defendant, Anthony Catalano. He says the plaintiff is out of his mind. He knocked on the door of the admissions office because he was frustrated with his inability to pass the exam. He then proceeded to beat him to a pulp and then ran from the office. The plaintiff put him in the hospital, for goodness sakes, so owe him, he's accused of cutting a guy off for good.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Alex Cortez, you are suing the bartending school. You've asked us not to mention the name, and we'll respect that. Represented here by the manager of admissions, Anthony Catalano, correct?
Correct.
And you have authority to be here on behalf of the owner?
Yes.
For $742 that you say you are out as a result of them selling you a bartending course that wasn't what they promised and not returning your property to you after everything sort of hit the fan. What happened?
I'll tell you, I had done some research on bartending schools and decided I was going to try it out.
Now, this would be a new career for you, correct?
Correct.
So you decided on this bartending school, and the course was supposed to be how long?
2 weeks.
And so you start doing the classes, and what happens?
I started the classes, and I noticed that many people were in different levels of study, and it was a bit confusing at first, but I figured I'd stick around. So the first week, everything wasn't that bad until the second week. On Monday, I couldn't make it. I had some personal matters to take care of. So on Tuesday, I showed up to the class, and Mr. Catalano said that I owed a balance. So I went to...
Where did he say that?
He called me out after the class.
Okay, so he didn't say it in front of the class?
The instructor was there, and there were other students who were there at the time by the office where
okay.
I made the
so
payment.
he tells you owe money, and did you?
I did. I owed, it was the last balance of $195.
Okay, and you were supposed to have paid it when?
Actually, I had paid... the installments were for $165. The second payment that I made was for $300. So I was actually ahead of my payments.
Okay.
So I didn't expect that at all. And so...
But was this your third or your fourth?
This was supposed to be my final payment.
And then what happened?
At that moment, I didn't have the money with me. So I said, not a problem, I'll pay tomorrow. And that's when he said in front of the instructor and the students, oh, well, you have to pay your money. You have to pay your money. He was basically being pushy and persistent. And I said, don't worry about it. I'll bring it tomorrow first thing.
Okay.
So when I get home, I noticed I had three messages in my answering machine, and I looked it over, and it was him basically saying, oh, you need to get your money in, you need to get very pesty and badgering. And
and they were left before or after you saw him and talked to him?
They were left before.
Okay. All right, so the next day, do you come in and you pay?
The next day, first thing in the morning.
But then what do you decide the next day?
The next day, I showed up. I was a bit frustrated at the situation, so I paid for it. I paid cash. I paid the instructor, and then right after I paid him, I went to class. And when I was in the class, I noticed there was like 35 students.
As opposed to what?
As opposed to the 20, which he said he had promised prior to even signing.
Okay, can I see the paperwork where you promised the class size?
He didn't, it's not stated, it's not stipulated in the paperwork. He had promised verbally. He said, I brought that up. I said, listen, I'm not going to go to your school because I keep hearing reviews online how they're just overcrowded. No one gets a chance.
Okay, if it was important to you enough to point it out before you signed the contract, and it's not in the contract, why wouldn't you just write on the bottom that you're guaranteed a class size of X?
I just took his word for it because...
Watch this. Did you ever promise a certain class size?
No.
Oh. All right, so now you've been to school for 1 week, is it?
Correct.
And now it's the Monday of the next week, and all of a sudden the class size is 50% more than it should be.
Correct.
And what do?
So I'm frustrated, and I go to his office, and he's not there. He's in one of the other rooms, and that's when I'm knocking at the door. He opens up. He says, "What do you want?" And I said, "Well, I want my money back. Class is overcrowded." And he just basically blew me off and said, and slammed the door on my hand. And that's when I reacted in self-defense, and I just punched him in the face.
Wait, but the door is closing on your hand. So what did you do? You push the door open and punch him in the face?
Correct. I was standing outside, and I said, "I want my money back. I want it right now." That's when he slammed the door.
Right.
And my hand was right here, and my hand got caught.
Your hand or your arm? Because you said your hand, but you pointed to your arm.
Right. As I was right here, the door hit right over here.
Okay. And so, but it didn't actually trap your hand in the door or your fingers in the door. It bounced off?
Right. It bounced off.
Okay.
And then I said, "I want my money." And I pushed in, and he pushed me back. And that's when
Wait. You got to slow it down. You pushed what in? The door or him?
The door.
You pushed the door open, and he's not on the other side of the door. He's now in the opening?
He's in the other side of the door.
So now he's behind a door. You're pushing the door open. It's a two-step action on your part. You have to push the door open, and then you got to punch him in the nose. All right, so I'm trying to figure out how that happens. You push the door open, and now the door's no longer between you and him. And then you reel back and you punch him in the nose? All right, what's he doing when you punch him?
He's struggling with me, and we're basically struggling. At this point, the instructor comes in and breaks it up and says, "Don't worry about it. You're going to get your money back. Just relax and calm down." And I said, "All right, fine." I walked out of the school, and I noticed that my finger was swollen, and I was bleeding. So I left. I immediately left.
Which finger? On the right hand?
Index.
All right, do you have pictures of your injury?
Yes.
Will you hand them to my bailiff? What's going on? What happened?
He took the entire week of classes. He didn't show up on Monday. That's why I called.
How much was the total cost of the program?
$595.
Okay. He paid $165 and then
No, he paid $100 and then he paid $300 the first day of the program, which makes $400 with a $195 balance.
All right. So go on.
So I called, left a couple of messages, during the day to find out why he didn't come to school. Then he came in on Tuesday. I said, "What happened to you?" He goes, "Oh, I had to take care of something." I said, "Okay." I said, "You have a balance of $195. It's got to be due the second week of the program."
What was he supposed to have paid?
Registration, $100.
Got it.
End of that week.
First week?
No, the end of the week before his class started, $165.
Okay.
Okay. Then $165 midweek of the first week of his program, and $165 midweek of the last week of his program.
According to what you just told me, he was down $30.
Yes.
Okay. So you go into the class and pull him out.
No.
Tell me about that.
He comes in on Tuesday. He pays the instructor $195, doesn't let me know anything about he's having problems with the program or this or that, nothing. I'm in the director's office, and the office door is opened. And he comes to the front of the door, and he says, "Can I see you a minute?" I said, "Yeah, I'll just be right with you. I'm just talking to the director." He came right into the office and punched me right in the face and kept punching me with my glasses on and just kept punching.
He didn't say anything?
And I blocked, nothing, just kept punching.
I mean, usually before somebody punches, is there something they're mad at?
This was, to this day, until right now.
Hold on a second.
To this day, till right now, I didn't know why that happened. He never expressed to me he was having a problem with the program.
Because usually when people are displeased, they'll tell you why they're displeased,
Never
and there's a
told me
problem,
anything.
and that's why there's a
I didn't
fight.
get any feedback from the instructors either about it.
Just walks in and starts
Just
punching.
walked in and started punching.
And then what happened?
And then both myself and the director, to get him out of there, because the instructor was on the other side of the door, we pushed the door closed to keep him out, and the director called the police.
When you pushed the door closed, did the door hurt his arm or anything?
We didn't. He was on the other side of the door. We're just trying to get him out of there.
So how does it end?
Well, the police came. He had ran out. Okay.
Now, you left behind your jacket, your keys, and a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he left everything out because he knew he was wrong.
Did you end up in the hospital?
The EM people came and put an ice pack on my hand because my thumb had been pushed back. And the next day I went to my own doctor And I had a one of those casts you put on, and I kept it on for a couple of
A
weeks.
splint?
Yeah, but
Do you have any paperwork?
No, none of that.
Okay.
No.
Do you have any, you don't have the paperwork from the EMT?
Everything is yes. I have it all
Let me
here.
see that. And you don't have any pictures of any injuries?
No,
Were you injured?
I was hurting. I mean, I was
Where
sore.
did he hit you?
He hit me a number of times in the face. They could probably
I
still
mean, he didn't
see.
do any damage? He's that weak? But, you know, I mean, weren't you, he didn't cut? There was no cut?
It was just a little laceration. It wasn't much.
And you didn't photograph it?
No.
All right, so go ahead.
The detectives came by.
Well, you come back the next day to get your coat and your keys.
No, he didn't come back the next day.
Which was a very bad idea.
He didn't come back the next
Hold
day.
on a second.
I'm sorry.
So you go in, what happened? The bottom line is you get arrested because they call the police when they see you there a second time.
Right, and the bottom
Okay,
line
so
is,
what's going on with your criminal case?
well, we have a court date on Monday.
pending.
It's pending, correct.
Okay, and you're charged with a misdemeanor?
With a misdemeanor.
Okay. And then in the end, you never got your keys or your jacket.
Right.
So you're suing to get your money back for the bartending course. And you're suing to get the keys, the replacement keys, and a replacement for your jacket. But the reason you didn't get the keys and your jacket is because the police arrested you, so you didn't get your keys and your jacket. Where are his keys and his jacket, by the way?
I think they're in the director's office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those need to be returned. Okay. And what court's in recess?
All rise.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if somebody slams the door in your finger, can you hit them in the face? What do you think?
No, you can't hit them in the face.
Why?
Because it's like illegal. You're not allowed to assault another person.
Well, but is it self-defense?
Yes. Someone slams the door in your finger. You got to protect yourself.
So the idea is they might do more to you, and you want to nip it in the bud.
Absolutely.
You're the tiebreaker.
I believe yes. Hit them in the face.
Hit them in the face just cause going inside the courtroom.
Let me ask you guys something. Were bar fights part of the course at bartending school?
Not at all, Your Honor.
I got to tell you, I'm looking at these pictures, and a picture does say 1,000 words, and I really wish you had pictures of whatever injury you claim to have sustained. The injury on his finger, that might be just from a punch, but the injuries on his arm, those look like a door slamming on him, and frankly, the finger looks like a door slamming on it too. And his whole arm is swollen. You can't doctor that up. Do I believe that happened after the punch? I don't believe his arm would just be sitting there unsuspectingly closed upon while you guys are tussling. So I really don't believe you on that. I think it happened the way he said. But that's not going to help you because you got to persuade that other judge on Monday of that. You know, this was sort of a canis mas macho. If I was a betting woman, here's what I bet happened. You call him out because you're very aggressive in your collection efforts. And he's embarrassed because it's in front of the teacher and maybe some other students over here. Then he gets home and then he hears the messages and it's wearing on him and grating on him. But he really wants to finish his course and get his diploma and get a better job. So he goes the next day and he gives you the $195. Then he sits down in class and now he is angry because he looks around and there's twice as many people as there ought to be, and he hates you and he thinks you're rude, and he's what am I doing here now? So he's frustrated, and instead of controlling himself and spending another 5 days and getting this diploma you need and just moving on, you have a very short temper, and you go in to see a guy who has an equally short temper, and it's two meeting. Okay, that's what it is. It's always two, and that's sort of what happened here. Okay, neither one of you was going to back down from the other one, and then this is what happens. Like a schoolyard incident, literally, where grown men should be involved. I'm going to order you to return half of his money. You ended up paying a total of the $595, so I'm going to order you to pay back $297.50. And I realize that doesn't make you happy because you didn't get a diploma, and I realize that doesn't make you happy because you feel like he assaulted you and he shouldn't get anything back, but that's what I'm going to rule. And as to the other stuff, we're going to arrange through a third party. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Defendant leaving the courtroom right here after this verdict by Judge Milian. What's your reaction to this outcome?
Terrible. I'm a 60-year-old man. I got punched in the face.
And the pictures?
No pictures. Just, it wasn't. It was a laceration here. It was it was a thumb.
Are you all right now? Are you okay?
No, the thumb still hurts. The shoulder still hurts, but I'm an old guy.
All right, you're a tough guy. All right, head right down this way.
Thank you.
All right, another tough guy here. Come on in here. What do you think of the outcome here? You got back half.
I agree with the judge.
Yeah.
I think it's fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Were you? Is this a tough guy? Did he get to throw any punches at you? He says he's just an old man, and you attacked him.
I think the director's even tougher. He threatened me with a baseball bat during the whole melee.
You still want to be a bartender?
No, not after this experience.
No?
Definitely not.
I mean, bar fights are part of the job, right?
I know, right?
Like the judge said?
I think I'd try to avoid.
Okay. Harvey.
Okay, the key to self-defense is you can use it to prevent further harm. You cannot use it just for retaliation. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.